Hey everybody, the Wrassle Twins are back in effect in a three,
Yo.
2, 1, yeet.
Yeet.
And we are ready to give you all this great with dude, this is just a busy Memorial Day weekend in pro wrestling.
Yeah, it is. A
We
lot going
have
on.
we have the NXT Battleground this week, Saturday night
Mhm.
main event, and the main topic of today's video, AEW Double or Nothing. Because you know what? We've been WWE heavy for a little bit. We got
Mhm.
to give AEW some love because you know what? They might be number two, but they're a pretty good number two, if you ask
They
me.
are. They are. And I gotta give before we get started, I gotta give a special shout out to Zoe Stark. I saw your injury this past Monday and just want to wish you a healthy recovery. Hopefully it's fast and you'll be able to get back at it soon.
Absolutely. That looked like a Joe Theismann knee injury. The way her
Yeah.
knee went in. So
Yeah.
hopefully she's a young woman. Hopefully she can bounce back. I felt like I was worried she'd get lost in the shuffle with Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville going.
Hmm.
But I think she'll bounce back. She's too good not to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and she'll have a reason to be a big time baddie when she comes back.
For sure. We need another heel.
Big time in that women's division right now.
Hmm.
But Joe, sir, a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
We talked about heels last week,
Hmm.
and we both wanted to put a manager on there, but we decided it had to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Who do you think are some of the best managers of all time?
Well, special shout out to Paul Heyman, who's the GOAT. I'm not even going to say him because he is the GOAT. He's the best to ever do it. And he's still doing it. So let's just give him his flowers now. But I wanted to talk about my guy, Jimmy Hart.
The
Jimmy
mouth of the
Hart,
South.
the mouth of the South. My brother, he is known for. Also, we ran into him at WrestleCade
Yeah,
too.
we were like within
Super awesome
spitting
guy.
distance of them. We're in the
Yep.
South, so we can say within spitting distance. So
So I mean, we got greats like the Hart Foundation that he managed, Hulk Hogan, King Kong Bundy, Jerry Lawler, Ric Flair for a time, Greg Valentine, like the list goes on, man. The Honky Tonk Man.
and like
Like,
had his own signature charm to it.
yeah, yeah. And
Just
I love seeing him. Every time he came out, I had a smile on my face. He was very colorful and vibrant. That never changed. And who is Swerve's manager right now? I have to
Prince
remember.
Nana.
Yeah, yeah. I love him, man. Love him.
I can't never do that dance quite like Nana can. He's got that extra groove to it.
Yeah.
And it might be my caucasity, but I can't quite get the, you know.
Oh, the caucasity of it all.
So yeah, two solid ones, man. Jimmy Hart's just a legend. Just the
Mhm.
amount of work he's put in. Not to mention, like a lot of those great entrance music from the '80s and early '90s, he pinned them.
Yeah.
He was pre Jim Johnston, and he did a great job with it. Uh, for me, you won't say it, I will.
All right.
Got to say it. Paul Heyman. Um, he's adamant about not calling himself a manager because he says all great managers died with Bobby the Brain Heenan. Respectfully so, I think Bobby Brain Heenan's 1A in my book. As far
Yeah.
as Andre the Giant, like anybody, any big baddie, you wanted to get a good mouthpiece, you put Bobby the Brain with him. He was just the perfect cowardly manager to do it. But Paul Heyman, especially since the 2012 Lesnar return to now, it's just cemented himself as the best ever.
Yeah.
Um, he can make a storyline that's just meh and turn it into something special. Don't
Yeah.
think we have a 4 year Roman Reigns world title run without Paul Heyman.
Absolutely not.
Without Paul Heyman, we probably don't have Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's so many great things that because of Paul Heyman, we have ECW turning
Hmm.
into what it was and turning wrestling on its head. Like we don't really appreciate it, but modern wrestling probably wouldn't be what it is without what Paul Heyman did in ECW.
Yeah.
Even though they
That's the
were
reason why I didn't
smaller,
say his name because he's so much more than a manager. Like he is the GOAT, the greatest of all time to do it. And he's still doing it,
yes, sir.
you
The,
know?
and just the way, and I'm gonna give a small shout out to Mr. James E. Cornette, Jim Cornette.
Hmm.
Problematic in some of the more recent things he said. However, as far as him as a manager with the Midnight Express, the list goes on and on. Jim Cornette's just one of the GOATs to do it. He could take a crowd and turn them completely visceral towards him just by showing up with his tennis racket.
Yeah.
So, Jim Cornette, we appreciate you, but Paulie, you're the GOAT, man. Bring back the big cell phone, please.
All right, one more, just 1A. Even though he's not known for much more than what he did, but William Alvin Moody,
Yeah,
Paul Bearer,
Percy Pringle.
yep.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do my Percy Pringle, my
All right,
Paul
go ahead.
Bearer. You're not ready for my Undertaker. Best I can do. Rest in peace, Paul Bearer, because you know what, man? This guy, he took something that a lot of people could have made crap and made it special.
Yeah,
And when he turned on the Undertaker and aligned with Kane and Mankind, I thought it was just perfection.
absolutely.
Like he took an urn. Like clearly, the Undertaker's standing in front of us. We know he's not in the urn,
Mm-hmm.
but for somehow he made that suspension of disbelief possible.
Yeah, suspension of reality for a little bit.
Like we believed all in that moment that the Undertaker was really a dead guy and his ashes are in that urn.
Right.
Like, okay, maybe we didn't believe it, but we just kind of suspended reality for a minute and like, this is it. So the only thing Paul Bearer did that was bad wasn't even on him. It was on WWE, but it was when they buried him in cement in
Yeah,
2004 Great American Bash. That was just, I like cheese in my wrestling, but that was extra cheesy. I ain't going to lie.
right. That was extra cheesy.
So, but the reason why we're here, we talked about a loaded event this weekend with all this wrestling going on. But we want to focus on Double or Nothing. Huge card coming up this weekend in Glensdale, Arizona, this
Yep.
Sunday night. Guys, you don't have to work on Monday. You might as well watch it.
Might as well.
You might as well. Ain't nothing else you're going to do that's any better than this, okay? We've got probably the best card AEW's put out, I think, in a while. Not that AEW TV, I think, is hit or miss a lot of times. It's just my opinion. Come at me in the comments. It's okay. I still love you. But like they never miss on pay-per-view. Never.
No.
And it's a little bit more unpredictable than WWE because you know not every match is going to be a 25-minute drama fest.
Yeah. Well,
So
let me get Will Osprey versus Speedball every night.
yeah. If that's your style, yeah, go for it, man.
That's what I love, man.
That's what I love. AEW is like the alternative now.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't have to be number one, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all right to be a blessed number two. There was a guy in the Bible named Joseph.
Yeah.
Blessed number two, and that's fine.
This is why I love my best friend and co-host.
Love you too, bro. And I'm loving that cup too.
Like, this is actually my wife's.
Okay.
She got it for a birthday gift, and I'm just happened to. I've used the Edgar Allan Poe cup the past few weeks, so I'm just gonna shout out to Ghostface.
Ghostface Killer. All right, so let's talk about it. Double or Nothing. Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page.
So it's going to be a lot of flippy doodahs versus some cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that other word, not on the internet. My mama watches. But so Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay for the Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament. And the winner's going to, at All In, fight for the world championship.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate because I think everybody in the world thinks Will Ospreay deserves that AEW world title match.
Why you got to do that, man? Because I was going to do the same thing. But go ahead.
I'm going Hangman.
Yeah, I'm pulling Hangman too. Why are we agreeing?
Because it's just what we do. We're one mind. But something about Hangman, because he's kind of in that role right now where he can kind of dirty, kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
I could see him just snatching it right out of the hands of Will Osprey, like by any means necessary, which is the whole gimmick with Hangman.
Yeah.
A win is a win is a win. And I think him versus Moxley, to me, is more enticing than Osprey versus Moxley.
Yeah.
And I just want to see Moxley drop the belt
You want
because
to see that? Why?
the Death Riders thing, man, it's just disappointing to me. It's me. I don't know if how many other people like or dislike it, but this whole the world titles in the briefcase and everything else, like, like I don't mind it not being defended on every pay per view. I'm not that kind of person because Hulk Hogan defended his title maybe 4 or 5 times a year on TV.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. It's wrestling. I think it makes, in some ways, it legitimizes your world title more, makes it more important. If you don't have matches for it all the time, it makes it more special. However, where you don't even see it, and this whole thing where Moxley's trying to turn the company over on its head, like it doesn't feel NWO. It feels less than to me.
Okay. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I kind of like it though.
So I'm going Hangman.
Okay.
But Will Osprey, I think, is at some point in the next year or two going to take home the AEW World Title.
As he should.
He should,
especially over with me.
Yeah, like he's not my favorite guy, but I understand the appeal. You know what I mean? He's a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Swerve took the title off Moxley, but it's not my company.
Right.
But Tony, if you're listening, build around Swerve, and your company will go.
Bro, I've said the same thing. He is the face, in my opinion, of AEW. Whenever I think of AEW, I think Swerve first, before anybody else.
Like everything he does feels like it gets pushed down, and really, why?
Yeah.
Even his world title reign, it did not feel like they were building around him. It just felt like, oh yeah, Swerve's the champ.
Yeah. I think Swerve and Hurt's the syndicate. That's what I think. Yep.
Swerve and Hurt Syndicate need to be like at the top of the list right now because those are the only two. Well, I'm not going to say the only two things. Those are two things that keep a lot of people watching.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it, my boy MJF in the Hurt Syndicate. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next one on the card: Mercedes Monae versus Jamie Hayter. Who you got?
Okay, this one's biased because I've met the lady and she's super sweet, super nice in real life. So, and if you see my TikTok, I told a whole story about meeting her. So I got to go Mercedes. Sorry, guys. I know that a lot of people are pulling for Jamie in this one, but the man in me that's met Mercedes Monae cannot help but do anything but like, please let her win so she can take her rightful place against Toni Storm because I think that match would be amazing.
I think it would be amazing. That's exactly the reason why I want Mercedes to do it, and I'm not a hater.
Me neither. But here's my thing. I think Jamie Hayter's getting there.
Yeah.
Mercedes is there. And there's a reason why TK made such a big deal about bringing her and gave her own TV special, just so big business or whatever it was, just so she could be there.
Yeah. So, and I don't think Hayter would lose anything by taking the pin.
No, not from Mercedes Monae. Like like not to bring the other company up too much, but she is one of the 4 horsewomen from NXT.
Yeah.
Like she was one of the ones that's put women's wrestling in the high point that it is right now on American TV. She's part of that reason. Her and Bailey had some barn busters in NXT.
They did.
And I think people forget, like her character's kind of meh in AEW as far as I'm concerned. But when the light's on and that bell rings, there's very few women in the world that can keep up with Mercedes, I think.
I mean, it's like I've said all the time. You watch AEW for the wrestling. You watch AEW for the wrestling. The stories of WWE are so much better, but that's
the wrestling.
The wrestling. Yep. The wrestling. If you want some real good wrestling, watch AEW.
Oh, yeah. I felt that for the first time when we were at Revolution 2024. Like everything mattered in the ring. Yeah. A little flippy, but people like flippy, and that's okay.
Do a backflip. And that's my favorite thing to say.
Oh, yeah. Do a backflip. He told Braun Strowman to do a backflip one time.
I did.
And who was it? Luchasaurus?
Yeah.
We went to Collision, I think, in 2023 together.
Yeah,
And first off, it was when CM Punk and FTR had a 6-man tag against House of Black, which was amazing to me.
man.
And Joe was there, and we were the loudest two people in that entire crowd when Joe did his walk away thing as somebody's doing a high spot.
And I was
He
doing
did
the
the
same thing
thing.
at SmackDown this past Friday. It just
We we're gonna
it's up you
finish
went
up with
there.
that.
Okay, cool,
We're
cool.
gonna finish up with that because I'm still a little peanut butter and jelly about that.
All right. I love you, man.
Third third matchup, the
All
Hurt
right.
Syndicate,
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MVP, of course, in their corner. Who, by the way, in the next 10 years, I think we'll be talking about in a Paul Heyman esque light
Yeah.
versus the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Who you got and why, Joe? I already know. We're going to agree on this one too, and that's okay.
Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt
I
Syndicate.
mean, yeah. Even though I'm very, very entertained by Dustin Rhodes. He is one of my favorites to watch. I just saw him bust a move a week ago.
He should not be able to wrestle the way he still can at his age.
Yeah.
Legitimately, like, I'm not picking on anybody over the age of 50, but at 50, you should not be able to go that hard like he does.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's
Sammy
great.
Guevara, he's getting that rub from Dustin Rhodes. I think is going to be maybe we can finally get some of that dirtiness out of people's mouths when it comes to Sammy.
Yeah, yeah.
Personal stuff aside, man, he's talented in the ring. Give him some
Absolutely.
flowers, but Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they hurt people.
Yeah, they do. Like legit.
And Shelton Benjamin, pound for pound, has always been one of the best in-ring performers in the world,
Mm-hmm.
hands down. He could keep up with Kurt Angle.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. Yep.
so I appreciate Shelton Benjamin. We got to see him at WrestleCade, and it still looked like he was 25 years old doing the super kick to Shawn Michaels off the spring, taking the super kick for Shawn Michaels off the springboard.
Yep.
Still did the dragon whip, everything. Shelton's amazing. And then big Bobby Lashley.
Oh boy.
He's another one, man.
Put the belt on him.
He gets better with age. We
Yep.
talk about all these guys needing the AEW world title. Bobby Lashley could carry that world title and make it look like $1,000,000.
Yep.
And with MVP as the mouth, dude, like, couldn't tell me nothing.
I'm so looking forward to Sunday night.
Dude, anytime Bobby Lashley is in the ring, you just watch and you're just like, what incredible thing is he about to do next? Because
Yeah.
again, bringing it up because he's got so much intertwined with the other companies. With TNA, amazing match after amazing match after amazing
Mm-hmm.
match. His second run in WWE, amazing match after amazing match. And his Hoss fights with Braun Strowman. Like, we always talk about the athleticism of Bobby Lashley. Well, that's obvious. But
Yeah.
the Hoss fights is what I'm here for. I like to see two big beefy boys beat the snot out of each other.
Fat on fat crime. Well, not really fat this time, but
Bobby Lashley probably has like 3% body fat at most.
right.
Okay.
Him,
His
Finn Balor, and Braun Strowman, man,
There ain't no fat on that body at all. Like, Bobby
Nope.
Lashley's peck is as big as my head.
Makes me want to go down to the YMCA.
Yeah, every day. Gotta be like Bobby. Gotta
Gotta
be
be
like
like
Bobby.
Bobby. Bobby. Anyway, Bobby, if you're hearing this, I do need a spotter, so if you ever want to meet me down at the gym, let's do that. Uh
And I need a hat. I need one of those Hurt Syndicate hats. They look good.
oh, we
So
need to get one. Yeah,
we need
you're
to get
right.
we need to
Mhm.
get a couple. We would look good in the Hurt Syndicate. I can be the MJF.
Yeah, I have a huge head, but it'll
Yeah.
work.
I'm less handsome than MJF, but I think I can do
I mean, granted, so am I. Uh
it. What are we even doing? But yeah, the Hurt Syndicate brings those World Tag Team titles home. Hands down, best tag team division in wrestling right now is AEW. Um, They got so many tag teams out the wazoo. It feels like watching an old NWA show because tag teams matter. Not saying
Tag teams
WWE's getting
matter.
there, but tag teams
Right.
matter in AEW.
Yeah.
So I don't. If I'd never see another Young Bucks match, I'd be okay with it. Fight
Mm-hmm.
me now,
But
but
then,
you got the Hurt Syndicate. You've
mm-hmm.
got FTR. You've got Sammy Guevara, Dustin Rhodes. You've got all these great tag teams in AEW that can do amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give them their flowers, man. The AEW's got the best tag team in the game
In
right now,
wrestling right
in
now.
all
Yep.
wrestling.
In all wrestling. Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa.
Okay, Tony's gonna win.
I got Mina.
You got Mina Shurikawa.
I got
Ex-
Mina.
Explain your hypothesis, please. Show me your work.
Okay. I have Mina because Tony, though she is one of my favorites and a nice woman, love her, beautiful, everything, right? Great in ring. Mina, though, this would be one of them situations where she wins out of a circumstance. I don't know what that circumstance looks like, but she wins and it helps to bring her a little bit over because I think that a pin from Mina doesn't hurt Tony at all. And I believe that she would make a great, even though she would move on and everything like that. I don't think that she would win the chip, but just to see her there, it would really please me to see her there.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Mina Shirakawa is an amazing wrestler, man, woman, whatever. She's an amazing wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
However, I say Tony Storm for this is I'm looking ahead, right?
Yeah.
And I think TK is missing a lot of money by not putting Tony Storm versus
Mercedes.
Mercedes
Yeah.
for all the belts, the TBS championship and the women's world title. That's my opinion. Mina Shirakawa, though, is there. She is great. She's an amazing wrestler. I think, honestly, as far as people on their roster now, them signing her is a get, probably the
Well,
biggest get they've had in a while.
here's what I'm thinking. You subvert our expectations and make it a triple threat.
I'm chewing on it because I like it.
Yeah.
But then, like, the old man in me is like, well, that's not the stipulation of the Owen Hart Foundation Cup. And then that,
Yeah.
but again, it's wrestling. You can kind of do anything you want. So, yeah, I could dig it.
Yeah.
I could dig it. They do multi-mans pretty good in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So I could deal with it. Nothing quite beats that Swerve, Hangman, and Joe match a couple years ago, but you know,
You see what I'm saying? So imagine
Mina
you got
Shirakawa.
Mercedes Monae, Tony Storm, and Mina Shirakawa in a triple threat.
But I want to see Mercedes holding up all the gold.
It'll happen.
Mercedes two belts.
Mercedes two belts,
It doesn't
Monae.
roll off the tongue as good as Becky two belts did, but I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I
It'll
want
happen.
her. I want her to win that belt. I want her to be a belt collector. I want her to beat John Moxley, single-handedly beat this Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
Just
She can
win
do it.
everything.
She can do it.
But so I think either way, it's going to be a fun match because Tony Storm's character is incredible, but like her in-ring work is just as good. She knows her
Yeah.
character. She knows how to make it work in the ring. And if you haven't seen a Mina Shirakawa match, what are you doing with your life?
That part.
Because I know this is just wrestling at the end of the day. It's just wrestling.
Just rational.
But if you're a wrestling fan,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to love her work.
Yeah.
Because she can do it all.
That was the thing that kind of pissed me off at the SmackDown show is I was sitting around people who were at the wrestling show who weren't wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And so they were looking at people like, oh, this person is lame. And I'm just like, oh, you are getting old.
Here's
Oh,
what
you have
here's
no
what gets me
idea.
about any wrestling show whatsoever nowadays. There's
Yeah.
always somebody, and it always seems to be sitting beside me. There's so much for the other company that they're crapping on what they're watching right now. If you
Yeah.
are that, Travis, I need you to put a big old bar that says tribalism sucks on the top of the screen for this one because I'm going to sit here and tell you. If you are that deep into one company and you do not work for them and they do not pay your bills, There is something wrong with you. How
That
come
part.
we can't just sit back? I don't care what the name on the bottom of the screen is. If it's WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, MLW, you name the company. If I'm going to find something to enjoy on that show because I love wrestling. Okay, and
Yep.
if you are that deep into a company, why don't you go work for them?
That part. Seriously.
Because
Unless you're paying
tribalism,
my bills, I'm not. No.
the tribalism, I'm on TikTok now. I'm starting to get a little bit of a following on there, and a lot of my stuff is WWE centered because that's the company I watch the most of because of work schedules and everything else. If you guys get it to where we can do this full time, I'll be watching all of it all the time.
Yeah.
But if you are that deep into AEW or WWE or either, both sides are terrible at this. Okay, if you are that
Mm-hmm.
deep into it, go get a job with them or something because you know what? At the end of they're not paying your bills. They're not.
Yep.
If you're a wrestling fan, I think you should be able to find joy in anything you can watch. I'm not huge on the flippy doodah stuff, but you know what? I can find something fun about it to enjoy.
And I love the flippy doodle.
Like
Do a backflip.
I can watch Penta all day, but I want it to matter. That's the thing. I like to
Yeah.
see the moves, but I want the moves to mean something in the match, I guess. And both companies do that well. All companies can do that well if they work hard at it. I'm gonna get off my
Mm-hmm.
soapbox here, but like what you like, don't be a jerk about it. That's all I have to say about that.
And do a backflip.
And do a backflip. Not me, because I will break something. And I've got to work, okay? Because I don't get
Mark
to.
Brisco,
This beard
Ricochet.
doesn't pay for itself.
Who you got, Ricochet?
Ricochet, it's got to be.
Yeah.
He stole
Yeah.
Zach Gowen's leg, Joe.
He did.
And I love me some Mark Briscoe. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna catch heat for it. But sometimes I feel like AEW is using him just to talk about how great his brother was a lot. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? But Mark is just as good as Jay,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not for everybody. But this is a stretcher match. This is up Mark Briscoe's alley, and so I think it's going to be a fun match. But I think Ricochet by hook or by crook, he's going to win, and hopefully not steal anybody else's prosthetic leg.
All right. And lastly, Nigel McGuinness, Daniel Garcia versus FTR.
First off, Nigel McGuinness being back in the ring itself.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nigel. Nigel, if you have not seen Nigel McGuinness wrestle, you're in for a treat. Legitimately one of the best wrestlers of all time in his heyday. Like him in Ring of Honor before he had to step down and just go into commentary. Guys, if you can find a way to watch some of that old stuff, you will see like why this is such a big deal. And then Danny
Yep.
Garcia is a great young talent. I love watching him. Love the dance. I can't quite do it, but the dance. But then you got FTR, who, in my opinion, is one of the best tag teams of the past 25 years.
They're amazing.
And they're from
They're
right
amazing.
here in North Kakalaki with, of all people, Stokely managing them. Like you guys, I knew nothing about Stokely before Joe and I went to that Collision show a couple years ago, and I saw him get annihilated by Samoa Joe, and I'm just like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I just
Joe is
love this
gonna
guy.
kill you.
Oh, and he did. Like Stokely was a pancake in the middle of the Greensboro Coliseum. But I mean, I've got FTR in this one.
Okay.
However,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
we agree too much. You know what? We only have probably one disagreement this whole show. Which I blame you, but it's probably
Okay.
me. It's probably me. But
You
no,
should stop thinking like me. Anyway.
I
So
do look
let's
up
just
to you too much. That's the problem.
let's run through the match card for Saturday night main event real quick.
All right, you got it pulled up because
Yeah, I got it pulled up. Right now
awesome.
it's only what, four matches, right? That's been, yeah. So we have Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeet.
Yeah. We got John Cena versus R-Truth. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just kidding, John Cena.
No, dude.
Um,
No, Hear
Okay.
me out. Hear me out. Let me fantasy book. Let me cook. Truth wins. Somehow, some way, truth wins. Shows up on Monday. John Cena comes in, and it's like a finger poke of doom, but like the best possible way. Truth's
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, my bad. This one's on me. And John Cena just pushes him over and pins him at 1, 2, 3. 18-time world champion, because why not? Like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I need some goofy in my wrestling. And let's be honest, like, as much as we revere these world titles and everything, they're props.
Yeah.
That's what they are. And this is John Cena's last run, and John Cena seems like he's in real life is just a goofy guy that just likes to have fun sometimes. I would love to see. Is it going to happen? No.
No.
John Cena's going to win in like 45 seconds. But it's going to be a fun match. You get John Cena and R-Truth fighting his childhood hero. It's his dream.
Yeah, it's like the fans versus John Cena. It's great.
Like, there's not going to be a single person in that arena that is going to be wanting John Cena to win at all.
Nope.
R-Truth is too lovable. Also, North Carolinian. So
Yep.
we got love for Truth here.
We got love for Truth here for sure. And he still looks young, which is great. He didn't have to change.
Dude, he's in his 50s. Another one. Like,
yep.
he's been in the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine, Florida too many times.
Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, a steel cage match.
Don't care who wins. I just want to watch the match.
Yeah. And shout out to Damian Priest because he has been honored in the Bronx with the Bronx Walk of Fame, Hall of Fame,
Rightfully so.
and got a street named after him. So special shout out to him. Been doing great things.
He is, and honestly, there's been a complaint for many years about WWE not having enough people of color in popularity, or people of I should say different races and stuff in popularity.
Yeah.
But now
Just different races in general.
Yeah, like we don't have that problem as much anymore because you got guys like, it's still a little bit there in wrestling as a whole. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
But we've got guys like Damian Priest. They're going off like crazy. Zelina Vega, um, the Hurt Syndicate. We got all these. We're finally getting to come up this like 30, like 60 years too late.
Yep. Jey Uso.
Yes.
Yep.
And then allowing an Austrian who's be a world champion for 6 months. That wouldn't have happened 30 years ago.
Nope.
Vince would never.
He's still one of the greatest of all time.
Yes. So I just want to get that out there, clear the air. Like, I just think we're finally seeing something that should have happened 60 years ago.
Yeah. Also, this Jey Uso World Heavyweight Championship run so far has been very entertaining, and I've been enjoying.
Exceeded my expectation.
Yeah.
Because he's the underdog, right? And I don't think anybody doubts who's going to win against Logan Paul. I don't think WWE's ever going to put the belt on Logan because there's too much controversy involved with that.
Yeah.
But Logan can go in the ring. He always has good matches. Always has.
I don't know. I think that they will one day, but it won't be over Jay.
No. Jay, you want Logan Paul to leave in one piece?
Right.
Like, if Logan wins, we riot.
We riot, right. There will be cars flipped in the street.
Yeah, it will look like the end of an Avengers fight.
Yep. Then we have Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn.
As much as I hate to say it, this needs to main event.
Yeah, it does.
Like, the world title matches are going to be fun, but
this is going to be brutal.
It's going to be a car crash.
I got Seth and Braun.
I do too. And by Braun Breaker. Like, I think Braun Breaker is going to do the brunt of the work, and then Seth's going to tag in and do the pin so he can be the winner. I like this kind of return to the Monday Night Messiah, though.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Like, it's
Monday night with Rollins, boy.
Even though I thought it was a little weird that he was backing it up on Braun the other week. Like, why we got to do that, Seth? But Braun Breaker is your future of that company. I think we need to hook every wagon to him we can.
Yeah.
Because he is too believable. He's the best incarnation of the son of Rick, the nephew of Scott, He's got the character.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the mouth of Scott, the work rate of Rick. God, it's going to be nasty.
Yep, he's the man for the next 20 years, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a car crash.
Yep. And so real quick, since we have like a minute left, I
Please
want to
tell me
talk about
everything about
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
All right, I'll tell you what I can. SmackDown was packed. It was fun. The Greensboro crowd was hilarious. The kids sitting next to me were the best part of the show. Um, they were just as loud and rowdy as I am. And if you ever sit next to me at a wrestling show, I am loud and rowdy. Okay.
I can
And
attest to this.
and the parents were embarrassed, and I was like, no, they're the best part of the show right now. The teenagers that was behind me trying to cuss and stuff, they were hilarious because they didn't know how to cuss. And really, like, the best part of the rest of the show is always the crowd. Whenever you actually go, it's always the crowd, the people you sitting with and stuff like that. And the wrestling itself, they put on some bangers. Like, shout out to Tiffy for legitimizing herself with that win. And man, her opponent was just amazing. She took that bump with the chair to the face, started bleeding and everything like that. We got to see Naomi, we got to see Jade Cargill. There was special shirts for Greensboro out there. Like, it was all right. So Cody Rhodes was on the card, right? And a lot of people, including some people that I was sitting next to, were like, "Oh, well, Cody Rhodes was on the card. I was expecting to see him." I was like, I wasn't really expecting to see him because they have these big bold letters that says card subject to change. I mean, the fact that we got Jeff Cobb, also known as JC Mateo, in his first fight goes to show that card is, the card can change at any time. So I was not surprised to not see him show up.
I
In
think
fact,
the
I don't expect to
longer
see him for a while.
I think the longer Cody is away, the more it'll mean when he comes back.
Yeah,
The past
yeah.
since he's been back at WrestleMania 38, he's been consistent.
Hmm.
So he deserves some time off.
He deserves some time off with his kids, with his wife, like
Yes.
a vacation, because he's been the face of WWE for over a year. And
Yes.
even while he was chasing, he had become the face. So yeah, so he needed a break. So
Pretty much
I'm
since he came back, he was the
yeah,
face. Other than
exactly.
that pec injury, which he still wrestled through in that Hell in a
Hmm.
Cell for some reason, because I would be in bed. So yeah,
Purple booby.
yes, he deserves a day off. He deserves the
Yeah,
time off.
he does. So, but I love Cody Rhodes, as a person, as a wrestler, even his character.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
It's a
even
little
bring back
cheesy,
Stardom.
a little
Yeah,
80s, but you know what? It was working. Why change it?
exactly. And when we get heel Cody, it'll be fun then too. But yeah, so I had a great time. The wrestling itself, I mean, get Solo Sikoa the mic more and more often. Okay, put the mic in his hand, let him go off, let him cook. Because the way, he hit that, yeah, I mean, of course we know what you mean. I was in there dying.
I'm so ready for Jacob Fatu to like rip him into shreds.
Yeah, yeah. But I also think Solo Sikoa is going to win Money in the Bank. Yeah,
I'm chewing on
yeah.
it.
He's going he's my sleeper to win Money in the Bank because I mean, he's great on the mic. He's a great heel. He's so great of a heel. Nobody really likes him like that, which is the reason why I do. Um, and you know how I feel about Jacob Fatu. That's my man. I love dude. I want to meet him one day in person. Like,
It's going to happen.
yeah, it's gonna
We're,
happen. It's got to happen.
we're going to interview him on this show. Mark my words. It's going to happen.
Ah, man, that would. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd be like, that's how it would sound. So you would probably have to do most of the talking. But
Final
but
thoughts. SmackDown on Greensboro. Tell me.
yeah, final thoughts on SmackDown in Greensboro. The crowd was amazing. The wrestling was amazing. The promos that were shot and all of that were great. The WWE is best with the storytelling and wrestling and modern day wrestling right now, and really just enjoyed it. And I won't miss another show that comes to Greensboro or Charlotte. That's for sure.
Here's the thing, guys. If you just going off what you go on TV, skip that. Go live.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's
You can go
completely
live.
different vibe. Completely different vibe. And if you're one of those people that's like watching on your phone while you stop that. Live the moment, baby. I promise you, you're going to have the time of your life.
Yep. Bring
Even
a
if you're
sign.
even if you're not a wrestling fan, you're going to have fun. And if you're not having fun, you're trying not to have fun.
Right. Really. How can you not have fun?
So quickly, guys, before we go off air, thank you, Joe, for your
Okay.
time, your energy. We got some projects in the works. Uh, The Marks is a movie on Tubi. I need you guys to watch it. I got the chance to watch it. It is hilarious, and I'm in contact with the director of that movie. And Joe, he wants to come on to our show and be interviewed
Oh, that'd be great, man.
free of
Let's bring him on.
charge.
Yeah.
He just wants to come and help us out and us help him out. So
Okay.
there's
I
a
love it, man. Great collaboration.
yeah, it's going to be exciting. Guys, watch the movie. It's silly, but if you don't take wrestling too seriously, which you shouldn't, you're going to have a good time. And I'm pulling up my email because there's also a book a gentleman wrote. I cannot pronounce his last name right now. So, guys, I'm sorry because he's very important. It's important to get names right. Jan Kalendrov. He wrote a book called Stolen Ring Time. I'm working through reading right now. Um, it's for sale on Amazon. It's pretty good so far. I'm not going to give too much away of the story, but when I'm done reading it, he wants to come on and be interviewed. And also,
All
have
right.
got a few independent guys that want to come on and just tell their story here on the Wrassle Twins. And you know what? I'm here for it.
Me
So
too.
you might see some solo stuff with just me or solo stuff with just Joe. That's fine. We're still the Wrassle Twins. We're still in this together. But there
Hmm.
might be a time or two where schedules just don't allow it. But we're on the up and up, and I have nobody to thank but you guys. So with that being said, follow us on TikTok, um, that country nerd, Bossa Nova, or the Wrassle Twins itself. Check us
Yep.
out. Follow us on Insta. Follow us on Facebook. We're on X. We're on Spotify. If you don't want to watch the video, that's fine. The same thing's on Spotify. Check it out, guys. Of course,
All
we're
seven
here on,
episodes so far.
sir.
All 7 episodes so far.
All 7 episodes so far are both up on YouTube and Spotify. Come check us out, man. We're here for it. This is what we love to do, and we are excited to be here for you. If you have any fan mail or thoughts or opinions that you don't feel like commenting, just send it to the email Wrassletwinspod@gmail.com. Right
Gmail.com.
there. Any inquiries,
Reading stuff.
any indie promoters that want to pay our gas money and get us up to you guys so we can run our mouths a little bit,
We right here.
we're right
That's
here. All right. You get these two handsome guys on your show, I promise you, WrestleMania next year. That's what happened with Joe Hendry.
is exactly what happened. And
So
you remember, I was the one who said, and like I said, I played the lottery since I didn't win. But when Travis asked me, who do you think is going to be going up against Randy Orton? And I said, say his name and he appears. and and he appeared.
support us. Check us out on all these things, man. We love you guys. We appreciate the support. We're going
So
to
much.
keep this thing growing, and we're going to keep being your favorite podcast. Okay.
Yeah. I can't wait to see and meet some of y'all in person too. This is gonna be fun.
It's going to be amazing. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.